Well, first of all, in recruiting, if sometimes if you're not first, you're last, even if you're second or third. And the first one, your first impression is the lasting impression. I want, my feeling is, and I want to get your feeling is that, with the coaching staff, with the guidance of obviously Mickey Joseph being the head coach now, continue to operate as such. I think that's a good indication of who they are as people and coaches, but then also they're matching their words with their actions, and so I think that's also bodes well for local coaches and obviously wherever they went recruiting. What do you feel about that?
Yeah, no doubt. Mickey really, really wants the in-state guys. I mean,
Right.
and I think he saw maybe a blind spot in some of the in-state recruiting, and in his own way, he got involved without stepping on toes. And it's like, hey, I recognize a few areas that I could help.
Right.
And he got going with it. So I thought that was interesting just to see how he got involved at Bellevue West, how he got involved at Omaha North. He's at Omaha Central. He's helping out at Lincoln East. He's helping out at Lincoln High, because there's, you talk about this year alone, there's 10 Power 5 kids in the state for 2023. That's a lot for just Barrett Ruud to handle. I mean,
for anybody to handle. Plus, depending on what happens, it doesn't matter. You still have Nebraska ties, even if you have another residence of job. And so it's still recruiting is recruiting. It's just kind of just whatever shirt you wear. It's the days of seeing Dan Young and Ron Brown 20 years straight going into high school is probably over.
Yeah.
And so they understand the business, but it's good that Mickey is pushing them towards not quote unquote shutting it down. Not that any of them would, but sometimes subconsciously you could be operating on a different wavelength. It's good when the guy in front of the room is in there grinding with you.
Now, if they were to lose to Indiana and Rutgers and Purdue,
well, yeah, that might change some things.
Well, are they going to be in that point in November? I
right.
mean, that's the tough question. But I think right now they've taken on the approach like, hey, we're trying to run this even more intense than it was before, and trying to keep our commits committed and go out and make some new offers. And that's a different approach. I mean, we've never been in this situation either, where a coach got fired in September.
Yeah. So, and how has this affected, I guess official visits? Now, how does that? Is there a rule since either there's an interim coach versus a regular coach? Do you get an extra official visit, or if you come to Nebraska and say like they hire a coach in November, December, do you get that back, or is it just once you decide to go officially, it's over?
Yeah, official visits are different in the sense that you could, people are going to take them in June now, and then there's a window in the season you can take them on home weekends or December or January. But by the time January comes around, that's just like leftover guys or late bloomers. I mean, there's really not much left in the pot.
Right, because it's early, right? Everybody wants to
sign in December, and they want to enroll in January. So Nebraska and most teams don't really take too many high school kids. I mean, January's turned into like transfer portal.
Oh.
I mean, that December, January is transfer portal recruiting. June during the season, in March, that's high school recruiting. Now it's different periods and different windows, and that will be the interesting thing when this new staff or however it plays out gets into place, because they've got to manage the commits they have. They got to decide if they want them all. And then they got to go out and maybe look for a few new guys. And then they got to go do in-home visits with high school kids. And then also manage your own roster with guys that could go and leave in the portal. And then also have the NIL element of things working. Right. And then go out.
That's what they get paid for, right?
And then maybe find other players in the portal. I mean, December is going to be crazy intense. Like DP just should block out some extra hours in December, because it's going to be nuts.
I don't have them. I don't have them. That's not happening. It's not happening. So with the recruiting of the big man, is this a change in philosophy or focus or priority now, purposefully getting some additional guys up front on either side of the ball?
Now he's the fourth in-state lineman. I mean, they got 3 committed from the in-state for this year. Okay. And Caleb Pyfrom's at least offered. So they're making a priority, I think, to get local linemen. But Pyfrom, is a different breed or build. I mean, basketball player kid that thought he was a basketball player. Then he grew into 6'6", 290. He went from 6'3" to 6'6" from March to now.
Okay.
And Nebraska measured him at that height in March to now. So he's really developed and grown into a prospect, and he's got that basketball footwork and that mentality of a hooper that I think they like. And Mickey really likes that. And you've watched this offensive line, guys. There's not a lot of movement going there on the edge right now in terms of athletic guys getting out and playing. And he's played against Maverick Noonan, Tyson Terry, and he's held his own against the best linemen in the state here the first month of the season.